The afternoon stream is today. Let's see if we can share this. Did not check. Usually I check, but I think we're up and running. Ooh, don't like that. Let's just get out of that and just
order filled.
Get filled up above. Probably want to be a little bit higher. Right around the chart 2 RDA. Chart 2 RDA. General. Oh, my stomach does not feel good. I think we know where it's going, don't we? But we don't want to chase the trade necessarily. I mean, we can always get on the other side of that trade. It's trying to go to the OR low, obviously, but right now, where is it messing around with? Let's see where it's messing around. It's still messing around with that daily VWAP, as mentioned by someone yesterday. So let's go over here. Look at the daily. Well, it's probably looking to test the daily open, obviously.
Order filled.
Got to scale in here. Got to scale in some way. All right, well, let's scale in up here. Yeah, that was a terrible scale in. Terrible scale in. Chasing the trade. What time is it? 107. Did reset my mind a little bit, which is good. Let's share this on the other platforms. I did share. And then we'll share it on the Twitter. Why is that not over there? Okay. Well, I'm risking the 20K PnL here, aren't I? Up about 20K, 873. Welcome, everybody, to the afternoon session. We are trading. Let's see. Right now, CL did hit there, did reject at the 9 on the daily. Interesting. I think it's going to continue down, but I didn't get picked up, obviously, there. So what are we targeting? You can see the levels I have on the chart. That's the first level. And if it gets really bold, it wants to get to 800, 12,800. If it gets really bold, I'm almost holding out for that level. So we're waiting for a test up here. Let's put these three here. Got the scale ins at key points if it does make it up there. Otherwise, we'll just stick with 3 for now because we're a little late on that trade. I was in it earlier. Got knocked out. Waiting for we've got chart 3 is probably what you should be focusing on. 859 NQ, 859 members chart 3. NQ, C3 is your control for this trade. That's what we're focusing on. 857 or so, but then you got a level right around 850. So well, that's what to focus on. We're messing around with that entry there. See that? So we don't do anything. Almost I should just get out of that trade. So we'll put a trailing stop here. If we get knocked out, we get knocked out. We'll start over up above. We get knocked out of that total position, we'll start over up above. Otherwise, we'll just wait for the next trade. Look at the GC trade, man. I didn't have the strength to trade that. I should have traded. This is going to be one of those days where you're going to look back and say, look, that's such an obvious trade.
Stop filled.
It's so obvious where it's going to. It's going up to that level. We said that earlier, didn't we? We said 2009 or 2013. Said that earlier, and I didn't trade it. Well, I was focusing on the trade in the NQ, and I didn't. Wish I would have saw this pattern earlier. I need to just start. How I usually do this trade, I should just one day just ignore the stream and just trade. Like literally just ignore the stream. Just like turn it on and just ignore the fact that it's there. Well, I probably say a lot of inappropriate stuff. All right, let's get some music going. Welcome everybody that's watching. Initially, we got a few people watching. Let's go to Spotify. Got knocked out of that trade. We probably didn't want to be knocked out based where it's at, but I'd like to see the buyers push back up and try to test these levels up here. That's what I'd like to see. That's the best trade. Best trade is up there for the short. I'd have to get into that next candle, though. That might not happen. There we go. All right, there we go. I'm going to get some coffee. I'll be back. There we go. It's getting up there. That's what we want to see, man. All right, get up there. Boom. One word, 10 letters, successful. One word, 10 letters, successful. What's up? That was weird. All right. Got to wait for the follow through of that next candle. This candle's not going to do it, so I want to see a follow through. Hey, buddy, come on. All right, let's see what we got going on here. CL moved up. GC's moved up. NG did not hit our target yet. I'm waiting for possibly that trade. There it is. It's there. All right. NG's there, and it tested it. So we're going to slowly scale into this thing. And I got to open up another account here. We're trading that long term. We've been waiting for that NG trade for since 321. Since 321, 835, we've been waiting for this NG trade. Did not have orders in the market in my other account. I need to put some orders in now. All right, let's pull up this machine on another machine here. Let's go up here, pull this up machine. Log into that. Got that. All right. Let's confirm that it wants to be there. We're trading NG on a longer term basis. In this account, or what you're seeing here, this is more of a, obviously a quick scalp, or, you know, a quicker trade, but we are trading at an important level there. So we're going to trade down to here and then give it an opportunity to just get a tick there. All right, so you know, I don't want to miss this trade on the NQ, but at the same time, I don't want to chase it. So we're going to wait for, well, we're at the pivot point. That's the problem. We're at the pivot. I got music on too, just so you know, in my ears.
Order filled.
Knew I should have just traded it there right at the RDA. I'm chasing the trade a bit. Oh, hold on. Hey! No, dumb dog. Only picked up on 3 because I was timid up there on the RDA there. But the buyers have, so first target that we're looking at for some, obviously it's the OR low, obviously. Well, let's get in on a momentum check. See if it does, if it rips up to a momentum check. How's everybody doing this afternoon, I should ask? Sorry, I just jumped into it. Well, let's see. We'll see if that level in the 5 wants to hold. Might have to be a little aggressive here. Or not aggressive, but a little less aggressive here. Instead of chasing it. Because it might hold that 5-minute level. It looks like it's trying to. How much time we got on that 5-minute candle? We got 2 minutes. All right. Yeah. Was right. Yeah, I don't like the way that candle's printing. Should have waited. Shouldn't have been chasing the trade. Thought it was going to break there. That's what happens when I chase breakouts.
Order filled.
That's what happens when you chase breakouts. Let's look at the other chart real quick. Yeah. Looks like it wants to test the daily open. Still obviously the index is still, or the NQ is messing with that anchored VWAP. We're right around the mixed. I mean, it's obviously it's maybe trying to do the gap fill. I mean, that would be the ultimate trade that if it's looking for. If it's looking for a gap fill, I would probably look for an overshoot around 680. Let's see if something else backs that up. That's what I need to see. One other chart backs that up at all. What is that level? Well, no, that level would be here. That gap, what would that move be? $69. 69, dude. So 69. Right around 820. That backs it up. I mean, that's our level. 803 is our level. So 803 is our level. We've got a level there. Matches another level. You know, it might want to test that alpha at 8 deuce deuce. 822. I say 803. Homies are living competition even know me. All right. All right. Well, we're in profit now, so I think I'm going to protect this position. We get knocked out, we get knocked out. So putting in trailing stops. Sorry, not showing the chart. My bad. There, chart 1, you can see where we're trading. CL, I don't like where CL is at in the daily. CL needs to commit whether or not it's going to break that the fast momentum. Trying to stay in this trade. All right, we're up about $3,000. Keep going, man. I should try to stay in this trade. Should have been a little bit heavier. Let's get rid of all our offers. All offers are gone. Okay, they're not gone. You got drug money. Keep going. Boom. The question is, does it want to do another RDA check at 797, 800? Does it want to tag 800? That would be a monster move. I don't think we'll be part of it there because these buyers, there's still buyers stepping up. I don't know why the buyers are buying there, but
stop filled.
I don't really care. Got knocked out of 6 lots. We're just in 3 now. So you know how I trade, how we trade the system is we trade in thirds, and then we take at stall areas, we take profits, and then we let runners so that we're still in the trade. So this is the runner. I started with 9 lots, got knocked out on. I really should have probably tried to keep at least one of those, so I'd still have 6 lots here. But the buyers have slapped back quite a bit, so I've increased the profit taking, or I've taken profits a little bit quicker here this afternoon. I did spend some time journaling, looking inside and saying, okay, what am I doing wrong? Because this PnL should be probably around 40 or 50 grand. It shouldn't be 21. But I keep saying that, and the reason why I keep saying that is because I was trading against the system all day, the morning, and then, I'm not trading at size, so I'm itching to do it. I'm just, if I would have been trading at size earlier, when I feel like I wasted an hour earlier. So anyways, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about everybody else. There's no comments. Anybody else around? Anybody else have anything to say? Any other questions? ARB is at $1.29. ARB is there, so it's trying to create a range. It's going to probably try to break out at least up to here to this elbow. It's going to try to break out to the elbow. That's what I think. So it's going to try to do that. Yeah, it would have been nicer to stay in this trade. Damn it. Knew I should have stayed in a little longer. Wow. That NG trade so far is sorry, is holding up. Oh, where's the elbow? There it is. Let's zoom in. Yep. See that elbow? That's an elbow at one spot, 52903. One spot, 52903 over. This is Rex Dog actual. Yep. No problem. That's what we're targeting. So if you're, you could almost trade at this level, and if the VWAP breaks, I mean, so you can go back in charts, and this is something that, it's going for the RDA, sons. Damn, knew I should have been heavier in this trade. It hits the RDA right around 795, 780. We'll probably reverse. Oh, don't stop here. Come on. You can't stop here. That's not real. All right, fine. Stop here. I don't care. All right. You can see that. Wow, pretty exceeded.
Stop filled.
So we're going to wait for the RDA test on chart 3. And then we're going to wait for probably around 787. 787. That's not a Boeing, is it? 787? So if you're new here, you want to join Discord down below or Telegram. If you want to trade the best system on the planet, the best trading system on the planet, you can visit the website Rexdog Trading. One-time fee $9.97. That's the extent of what I'm saying about that. So let's go here. NQ. Let's see. What do we want to do? Well, the OR low has been breached, so we expect some buyers to show up. Let's reverse here.
Order filled.
Let's reverse briefly. Let's see if we can do a quick scalp. I think this level is going to hold, maybe, possibly. This level right here, right around where our entry's at, right there. I think it might hold.
Order filled.
It might not, though. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to hold. Sorry, my nose. Let's do one more position. Okay, let's not. Pick us up.
Order filled.
Yeah. Stops might be a little close. I just don't want to lose $500 on this trade. I'm fine losing 200. I don't want to lose 500.
Stop filled.
All right, I was kidding, dude. I didn't want to friggin' lose money on it. Whatever. Rip up, dude. Stop playing around. You want to rip here, and I don't have the patience to wait for you because I really want to hit the RDA. Yep.
Stop filled.
All right. I get it. Now it's going to do it. Nope. Let's wait for the RDA. Wait for the RDA and trade momentum. Hey, what's up, buddy? Come here. Come here. Rex, come here. Come here, Fluffy. Come on. Come here. We're trading in the afternoon, man. Come on. What broker do you use? Well, I use multiple brokers, but this is Trade of 8, what you're seeing, which is Ninja Trader now. That's what I'm using now. That's what you're seeing on the screen is Trade of 8. I think it's the best broker to use for new traders. I will be moving to Sierra Chart. So I'm moving to Sierra Charts here shortly. Signed up for a new broker there. I did have a broker. I just realized I had a broker I could use. So I don't know why I didn't just use that broker yesterday. So I do have I have 2 brokers I can use from Sierra. So I should have just done that. I knew I should have reshorted down here. Waiting for the RDA check. Well, Ninja owns Trade of 8 now, and they've adopted Trade of 8's tech. My VWAP does an elbow show. I don't know why your VWAP does an elbow show. That's on KuCoin. So I don't know why there's an elbow there. Unless maybe it's my time frame. Maybe that's why. My time frame might be that elbow. Okay. This elbow is a previous close of a VWAP. And then this is the day open. So this is a new day, is it? No? I don't know why there's an elbow there. That's weird. That's weird there's an elbow there. Usually that's on a daily. Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that they print differently. I don't know. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, there it did. All right, what is it going to do? It's going to go and test the OR. Our next trade is right up here. That's our next trade.
Order
Boom.
filled.
What do we get filled on the NQ? Hell yeah. On the NG, sorry. I don't know why I said NQ. NG. All right. Now we're not going to give the NG much room on this trade. Sorry, I keep making that nose sound. I apologize. So if you're a new trader, I'll just share what I'm trading. As I'm trading the futures, trading assistant. I've been a full-time trader since 2018. Sorry, I'm looking at the charts instead of talking. Is GC going to sell off there? That's the question. GC is gold. No, we're gonna hold out for 2013. 2013 is the level that we really care about. Where's this trade at here if I trade right here? All right. So the next trade on GC, if it does pull back, is right here, right around 1998. 1998 is the next trade on GC. If it pulls back, let's be patient for it to pull back. It did a previous pullback right around. Oh, that's early. Yeah. The other place that you'd want, I don't think it's going to get to 1991 right here. So, we got a level that's right around a kind of a key level. We look here. There's a key level on GC right here. That level, and then the next key level. So we'll say that the target is 2013. So we'll scale into here, and then we'd go heavier down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we'll put a protective stop in case the market, I don't know, in case the Fed. Look at that! It missed that NQ trade. We're waiting for the RDA anyways. We're waiting for right around 787. Probably where we're thinking about going long. Let's look at the daily. Let's see what the daily's stacking up to look like. Oh, did the full gap fill. There we go. So did a gap fill. It's going to be thinking about moving up now. It's going to consider it. I want one more impulse down to take out this level. This level right here. Is it even showing up on these charts? Oh, look at that CL trade. Oh, damn it. Yeah, this level here. I want to see it exceed that, and then we'll talk about it. It also has another important level here right around 800. So anything around 800 is probably a buy. Below that, I should be trading down to that, at least a participation trade, but I'm not. So I'll share this. There we go. That's a good enough tag.
Order filled.
We got to scale in down here. I mean, it might continue to move, but there's going to be a reaction probably somewhere down here. There we go. That's kind of my scale in plan for just 4 lots right now. We'll see how that works. Let's scale into there, and then when we get notified that we got picked up, if we get picked up, we can then get a little heavier. So in Trade Room Alpha, I'll share the charts. I'll share what the charts look like in Trade Room Alpha. I'll share the 4 chart setup. So members, check Trade Room Alpha. Booyakasha. That's what we're looking at. I realize that's probably what I can start doing too for members is I just start sharing the 4 chart setup. Yeah, so there we go. It moved from that level. So here's how we trade this. We wait for a changeover. Changeover needs to happen. So the first immediate level that's important is 895. If it recaptures 895, we might reverse and we might start adding to our long. Might not worry about these getting picked up here. I'm going to protect this for now, though. It's 1 lot. NG is maybe coming down to maybe do a 210 check. So we'll just wait for that level down there. What's the best period? Sorry if I asked too many questions. I'm new. Oh, you can never ask too many questions. What do you mean the best time period? Um, there is no best time period. Are you on the stream? And there is no best time period. The best time period is depending on your trading style and what you can trade. So just share in the comment whether or not you can hear me, and then I'll continue. Just want to make sure that I'm answering your question and it's not just in chat only. And I'll expand on that thought if you'd like me to.
Stop filled.
All right, so we got stopped out. Now we're going to wait to maybe get picked up lower or wait for confirmation. Okay, sweet. So time period. So for instance, I'll just share the system that we trade is kind of a superpower in trading because we trade what's called the 4-chart setup. Now you're seeing 4 different tickers here, but 2 of our charts, they're not even time period charts. So when I discovered this years ago, that one thing you want to do as a trader is you want to take time out as a factor. That's an RDA check. I almost need to just trade this. Sorry, I don't want to get distracted here. So that RDA check is holding up. So I'm going to trade this briefly right here, and then we'll just plan to scale in lower if it doesn't work out, or if it continues to hold momentum on chart 2. So humans are terrible with time, especially as you get older and you age. So trading is difficult with time. Yeah, see, I got aggressive there. Trading is difficult because
order filled. Order filled.
Order filled. By the time that you recognize that maybe something has changed velocity or momentum, you haven't picked up on it yet. And I believe that's because humans are terrible with time. I believe that's one of the reasons. So now, but let's just answer your question directly. So I'd say generally, if you want one of the number one tips I could provide you, your trade system that you develop, if you trade our system, if you become an alpha member and you trade our system and you adopt our system and you make it your own, you're going to be trading a trade system that takes time out of the element, which of certain elements. At least there's a component that time doesn't matter, which then helps you in trading edge, helps you tremendously. Now, time frame, when you say what time frame is best, well, it comes down to the type of personality you are and how much you can trade. So, for instance, I have a person that I've trained. He has 4 kids, a wife, full life. He can only sit down twice a week, and he can only really reserve maybe an hour and a half on 2 days at the most. He can check in, obviously, various times during the day, but he can't really give it a lot of attention because he's got a high demand. He's got a high demand business as well. So he's got a couple other things going on too. So what he does is 2 times a week, he trades the 4-day chart, and then he trades the 4-hour chart, and then he looks at the 1 hour as well, just to confirm his 4-hour. And then he does trades where they're basically set and forget. They're set and forget trades for him. So for him, that's the best time frame. If let's say that you can day trade like me, you have the opportunity, well, then you're going to trade charts like I do. You got 5-minute charts, looking probably at the hourly, the daily, and then you're trading a couple charts that take time out as a factor. That's the other thing that you're doing. So, that's one thing to keep in mind. So I don't know if that answered your question. There is the best time frame is the time frame that fits when you can pay attention to the charts and that fits your personality. Some traders, they can't scalp. They just can't handle it. They can't handle the speed. Some traders, they like swing trades where basically they put their stop loss in, they put their targets in, and then they check in with it every couple hours or every other day or something. It really depends. So hopefully that's the right answer to your question. That is, to me, there is no best time period. The other thing too is that you could trade. This is going to sound odd, but you could trade any time period. If you get adept at trading it, you could. I know someone that trades the second chart still. They love to trade the second charts. They love to trade the 30-second charts. So, what you have to do is you have to figure out, okay, psychologically, how do you trade? That's what you have to figure out. So I'm watching the time too. I'm also scaling in at really key levels here. So we're scaling in at really key levels. So I don't really like the way that the 5-minute chart's looking. So we went way past our level and I started scaling in, but we have another level here at 680. Because obviously if I got to scale in there, I'm going to have to scale in heavier, which we can easily do here. I'm only at 11 lots. Fast 40-second trades? Holy, okay. I mean, if you're set up to do that, if you can do that, I mean, that's, I would just ask whether or not you can keep up that activity level. Trading is, even though you might just be sitting down, it's a tasking. I mean, at the end of the trading day, I don't feel like doing much else if I'm fully engaged. So, I need a break at the end of a trading day. I'm trading a key level here, by the way. I'm not just willy-nilly trading. So we'll see though if I have to take a loss in this trade. But I mean, we got plenty of room to scale in. I'm not really scaling in at all. So I'm not planning to scale in anywhere towards that next level. And that's where I'm looking to scale in possibly. But I should have been momentum trading once again, because it didn't rip on where I expected it to rip.
Order filled.
So we get a chance to get out here. If it looks like it's gonna go up to that next level where that momentum check is, right around 813, I might get out. I like to see the buyer step up. Let's see how we're doing here. Did hit. I was trading off the extreme band too, just so members know, on the RDA. So I was starting to scale in a little bit more around that. Might get an opportunity to get out here at break even. We'll see. What I'll also see is, do I want to stay in this trade for a little bit longer? Because chart 4 members developed a level there right around 749. So we have a level to trade against. We now have a level to trade against. 749. That's our level to trade against. So we have a level to trade against right down there. Is that 749? Yeah, it's 749. I don't think it's going to give me an opportunity to get out at a decent clip here, is it? It's going to make me scale in below, isn't it? You're going to do it, aren't you, man? Make me scale in below. be a little patient with this here. See what it wants to do. A little patient with it. Get prepared for a level tap. Little quick love tap. Let's look for a love tap there. Don't have confirmation yet, although we could say the candle at 145, at least on the NQ, recaptured momentum. Momentum is slightly possibly shifted. We would like to see, obviously, that we would have liked to see that tap the RDA, but it didn't tap the RDA on chart 2. But we do have a level. So we have a level developed on chart 4. Now we'll just see if that level holds. It's going to be tested. Now that would have been where I should have traded. That's where I should have started this trade. I know you remember.
Order filled.
All right.
Order filled.
Here's the level test. Let's see if this holds or not.
Order filled.
It's kind of uncomfortable to trade here. All right, so far, level's holding. Let's see how it does. Nope, it's not holding. Nope. We'll see if it holds. If it doesn't hold, then it's probably going to that next level at 680. We'll see.
Order filled.
Ooh, briefly holding. Let's make that. Let's see if that candle can close above it. Chart 4. Can you do it? We see this pattern time and time again, don't we? Members, we see it time and time again, especially if you've seen the pattern library. I just last week released the level check pattern. Just last week. I know you remember.
Order filled. Order filled.
There we go. Level held up. Got a lower level there. Okay. Look at that. Bam. Keep going, son. You can do it. You got the strength. Got 2 levels there. So now we got 2 levels that it can test, possibly hold up. Chart 4. Ugh. Buyers aren't stepping up yet. Let's not get too aggressive. Ah, man. Momentum's holding. Overshoot there. Do have some intention on momentum there. So we have some momentum intention, or we have intention on price action anyways, I should say. We got some intention that it maybe wants to flip momentum, possibly. We're in a changeover state here, possibly. See where we're at. Just need one good rip up. One good rip up. There you go. Keep going. Now the question is, do I want to start over if it gets up there? If it does, it might not get up there. Might have to continue to scale in. Yeah, it's being very skittish. Let's see what the internals are doing. Yeah, lost the 0 line. Like I said before, this behavior was very odd. The internals were telling you ahead of time that, hey, that's not working out too well.
Order filled.
So, or there's something odd with this day. That's what it was telling you. Okay, we're almost, what time is it? Yeah, 10 minutes till the hour close. Let's see if this mic can get out of my way. There we go. I think it's going to probably try to move now. I mean, we've got 2 levels, and we've got chart 3, stair-step pattern possibly. I mean, we got a couple things here. Technically, if I wanted to, I could get out right here at a decent clip, I guess you could say. Come on. Almost there. I want to see an RDA check. We haven't seen an RDA check in a while on chart 2. That's what I want to see.
Order
All right.
filled.
Got out. I can start over. That's a prime example of me trading myself out of a stupid-ass trade. Starting too early, not waiting for this confirmation that happened here. If I would have just waited for the stupid pattern to unfold instead of being a trader that has enough powder to trade himself out of a trade, then, you know, I just don't have patience sometimes. I just still want to time these little bottoms. All right. But now we have something to trade against. Now we can start over at the level, the same level we were at before. So I got out, made a little bit of profit there, about $1,000 or so. Not bad. Broker's happy I paid their fees, or a little bit of the fees, I guess. Now we can trade the level like we're supposed to. And then wait for confirmation of a changeover in momentum and bias. That's what should really happen. There we go. So now we just trade the levels. Because we're in a fade trade at this point in time. But that's probably the trade on the table. I mean, it might continue to sell off, obviously. Let's see what the, excuse me, apologize. Let's see what the daily's stacking up looking like. Ooh, it's got a level down there. That 5 minute got a level down there. Might be going for that 568 level. The weekly open on the NQ's down here, and then the weekly open on the index is at 487.
Order filled.
Yeah.
Order filled.
I reversed. We're not going to trade. I'm not going to fade it. I'm not going to fade. Trade the system. I think it wants to go and test the weekly open. What's today? Thursday? That'd be perfect. Go beyond the weekly open, tap the weekly open, and then rip up below that. Rip up at 471. Let's see if let's see if something else on the chart supports that. Now CL 68.94. I think that's where we're at. All right. Yeah, 68.90, 68.98, 68.97 is the first entry for CL. We get picked up there, then we'll start scaling in. So I did short just 2 lots because we're still kind of, I mean, this move is, it could be exhausted, but I think it looks like possibly the NQ wants to test the weekly open. And if it does, well, we want to be part of that move. We want to be heavier, obviously. So any questions? I can answer some questions, or maybe no one has any questions. There are no dumb questions. There's only dumb answers.
Stop filled.
I got stopped out. All right, let's look at the 5. All right, 155, so we're getting into 2 o'clock. All right, let's short here and let's short here. So 753 and 764. RDA check on chart 2 is where I'd like to do the majority of our positions, and then we're looking right around. If we look at chart 4, you know, chart 4 is telling us that there could possibly be a so we got picked up on a gold trade. Let's go and look at that trade here. So gold hit. So it lost momentum, and it might be going to an RDA check. So let's sell that.
Order filled.
And let's just wait for the RDA check because it looks like it's selling off. Let's just wait for the RDA check. It's got a level check there. I just don't like it. I don't like the way it's selling off. So we're going to wait for the RDA check. We don't get picked up. We don't get picked up there. Cool. Great. Bam. All right. There we go. We got some buyers accepted in the market. So maybe we want to move this up.
Order filled.
Yeah, I think we want to move this up here. Yeah. You can just tell the way that's moving.
Order filled.
Yeah. They're stepping up now. They're trying. They're going to try one more time. The buyers are going to try one more time. They'll probably get up to probably 805. Looks like it. So they're going to probably get up to 805. Look at that, though. Look at that pattern. Trade Room Alpha, I'm going to share this here. Look at this pattern here. Look at this is friggin', this is real time right here. I should have caught that move. I didn't catch that move. So Trade Room Alpha, look at this pattern. I'll share it in the den too. Look at that pattern. This is real time. Once again, this is why, like, when you look at the patterns, it's like what I'm saying is you got to trust these levels. So we're going to do a participation trade on the long side, and we're going to see if it's going to check on the momentum indicators on chart 2. It might still sell off because obviously we're in a fade trade. It's doing an RDA check as I speak, but look at that pattern. I talk about that pattern all the time. We talk about this will actually be that pattern is actually in a failure pattern. The one that you're seeing there on chart 4, that's a failure pattern. It's a minor failure pattern. I'll be sharing that later on so I can get feedback for the videos that we create on that. Where we at? Boom. I put on for city. All right. So we're just going to put some trailing stops in here. We didn't get picked up on anything but one lot. And then the short zone is up until like
order filled.
We got picked up at the RDA there. See that on GC. So now we need to just do an extreme band pickup to scale in. We're in 2 positions, so we don't want to get too heavy because things are starting to move beyond some things. But look at that. Wow, look at that move on the NQ. Got there pretty quick. Got there quicker than I wanted it to. Made about $400 on that trade, possibly. It's not bad. We're down on the NG trade, about $80. Waiting for the GC trade to work out. The question I have maybe that I'm a little concerned about on the GC trade is we do have a key level there that it's testing, but does it want to test the OR high? That's a question. It looks like the NQ is going maybe up for the OR low, 847. So, I would have liked to have been in more than one lot. Oh,
order filled.
There we go. Ooh, okay. I didn't mean to be in that trade. There we go.
Order filled.
Damn, that hurt. It really started moving there, didn't it? All right. So it had a direction it wanted to go. All right. So GC is making a decision right here. GC is literally making a decision. Does it want to tag this? It looks like it probably wants to tag that. Yeah. So I need to be prepared to probably scale in down there. The volatility has really picked up. So now does it want to fail here? Or just some monster moves? I think we short up here. We'll wait for the 50 or 50. Obviously GC wants to get into the action down here in the OR. Long, yeah. That might be the long signal. I think you're right. I'm going to short it one more time up here, though. Not quite yet. We should have believed that pattern, huh? Well, no, let's trade the system.
Order filled.
Trading the system. So we're going to do an RDA check here in chart 2.
Order filled.
We're going to trade that, see how that works out. That's what we're trading. overshoot of the RDA, and then another level check there. So we're trading the system. I'm not going to fight the system. Although it is, that's the thing. At the 5 minute, it's at an interesting point. But we've got to switch over. Number one, that last candle on chart 4 recaptured bias. And then momentum shifted. So where my entries are around momentum. GC's starting to move up. Now it's the question of I don't want to take a loss on GC.
Order
So
filled.
I'm just going to put in trailing stops in there. So, because we got both of them moving up. One of them's going to diverge, I think. It might be GC. It might be... need to scaling down here a little bit lower. Oof. Got to be careful because it might use that level to reject. So...
Order filled.
If it doesn't hold up here, the RDA, then I need to just reverse. So... So this either is an overshoot on chart 2, and then the momentum and bias is going to hold, or the momentum at least is going to hold on chart 4, or need to get out of this trade. Started a little too early. Got a little too aggressive on the momentum checks. And then we're up about 630 on the 630 on the GC trade right now. I'm going to put trailing stops in here just because it might sell off from here. I'll just be knocked out. On NQ, we're back in profit here.
Filled.
Got stopped out on one of the GC stops.
Stop filled.
Got knocked out on another GC stop.
Stop filled.
Got knocked out completely on our GC trade. We're up about 26, 40, 41, 441. I'm out.
Order filled.
Out of that trade. I don't like that entry. It's terrible entry. Terrible entry. All right. Let's see what it's going to do here. We're in the middle of there's no edge here. The edge, the trade is short either at 370 or sorry, 870. Looking at the wrong chart. Short at 870, that's the trade, or it's literally long right here, but you're in the middle of a range. I don't want to be long right here. Let me move the mic out of my way. I don't use fib levels. I don't like Fibonacci. I mean, not that I don't like it. I just, I don't teach fibs either. I think there's better levels to use than fibs. So I did extensive back testing on it. I just don't think it holds up well. Yeah, no, we use the fib tool for levels, but that's defined differently, and that's actually in the training. So, oh, you mean what are the fib? I don't know what the question is. Didn't I have another question I was supposed to answer? Oh, I think that's in the, where are we at? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, who said long earlier? Someone said long. That's good. but you had a good successful trade. It probably was luck. I mean, you traded at a right level. So that's, I don't know if you're on the stream actually. So let me make sure. So it's, well, it's pretty obvious.
Order filled.
It's pretty obvious. We short the market here. And then the stop loss, I'm going to do a fixed stop. A fixed stop right here. If it gets above there, I need to be out of the market. Okay. Oh, I don't. Oh, you mean on the NQ chart? Oh, yeah. So what are those references? Where are we at? Oh, why am I looking at NVIDIA? Oh, this chart here. So that was my TA from, I shared this TA in Trade Room Alpha, by the way. So I did share this TA. That's where it's at. It's the overall value channel. That's what that is. I'll share this just so you have it. That's the overall value channel. So that's what the, sorry, I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Or I knew what you were talking about, but I thought you were talking more about the tool. All right, we're only in one lot here. We did not get picked up. I'll do a pickup on here, and then here, here, and here. And then that's where our stop. We got a fixed stop.
Order filled.
Closes above there, we need to be out of the trade. Or it tags that area, we need to be out of the trade, really.
Order filled. Order filled.
If it tags that area, we need to be out of the trade. It might.
Stop filled.
Ooh. I don't have any fib on, you mean on the stream? Oh, this is the question you asked before. I forgot. I'm sorry. Those aren't fib levels. Those are just strong levels. So you know, you probably haven't got to the pattern section of the training yet. And you probably haven't got to the 4 chart setup of the training because you're going through it, you know, obviously you're going through the fundamentals section. Yeah, and no problem. But if you have, then you'll want to look at chart 4, and then I talk about setting strong and weak levels. I'll find the specific area of the training for you, so you don't have to. Okay, yeah, you're not there. Yeah, so, which is, you know, I think that's probably one of the frustrating things, probably with going through the training a little bit, is that you see on the stream that I'm doing things that maybe you haven't quite got to yet, because a lot of the initial training, like I thought long and hard, like, okay, should I? Well, I'll just share the philosophy about what I've done, just so you understand how the training's structured now. Yeah, no problem. But I'll explain it just a little bit. So first, it's okay. Here's the system at a high level, right? And then, if you want to, you can watch 3 hours of evidence of it working time and time again. And then I thought, okay, well, the 4 chart setup is critical to what we trade, but the problem is, the reading chart section to me is actually where a lot of the edge happens. So, and I know that's what the reading chart section, you're not learning. I mean, you're learning entries, but you're learning a lot about like intention, and you're learning about how the market moves, and you're learning like a lot of these high these kind of higher concepts that are the foundation of how you trade any chart, any market, anything. And will carry over to anything that you trade going forward. I want to just make sure that I'm not missing a trade here. So it rejected off that. It rejected off the RDA, the slow momentum indicator. It's between two of our indicators here, and it's between the OR low. So, we're better off missing this trade. Yeah, because I dinged my PnL a little bit by just screwing around. We were up to about 26 grand, weren't we? I usually never watch it, so that's why it's just weird for me to see my with streaming. I know my PnL now, so like I know it sounds odd. People are like, "What? You don't have your PnL?" Yeah, we can check BTC. Yeah, sure. Let's check BTC. Look at it. Let's look at it kind of at a deeper level. Yeah. So on the training, I just wanted to share that. So when you get into the fundamentals, then it gets into a little bit more. But then you want to jump straight over to the recap and then go through the pattern library. That after you get through the RD trade system, you want to do that. I'm also working on redoing the whole entries section. So I'm hoping to have that up here in the next 2 weeks or so. All right. We only have 45 minutes left in the market, and it's lost the previous level. So this is where buyers might be found. So let's see if we can. We'll just do one little participation trade. So let's check BTC while I'm getting into these trades. Bitcoin. Where's my Bitcoin chart? Oh, why is this chart? Okay, this chart. Why do I have the NVIDIA open on this chart? Okay, there we go. All right. Well, bad news on Bitcoin right now. It lost the weekly open. The positive news is that it's in the midst of possibly doing a momentum and bias check here on the 60. That's the positive news. The best case scenario here, obviously, is that for it to capture the weekly open right around 28K. If it doesn't do that, let's look at the 4-hour. I mean, structure of the 4 hours not damaged yet. It's kind of a standard pullback. You've got a couple indicators right here that are kind of important. You got the 240, obviously the RDA, and then you've got our fast momentum indicator on the daily at 26,863. So this zone here, if it does get here, is pretty important down here. You want to see that zone hold up. So you definitely want to see that zone hold up. Let me look at, I need to look at the NQ, and we'll go back to Bitcoin. Yeah. Put in a trailing stop on that one position. We're late in the session, so I don't see, there's no high probability trade that I see on any chart here. I mean, GC possibly, but GC recaptured the RDA. And then it's stuck between two key levels. All right. So I'll go back to Bitcoin and we'll finish up the thought on Bitcoin. If we do the 4-day, once again, share this time and time again, the 4-day chart is the single best chart you can trade in crypto. You want to be an awesome crypto trader, trade the 4-day chart. You'll be the best crypto trader on the planet. So where are we at? 4 days looking strong. I mean, the other area where did I mention? How come my lines aren't on here? There it is. Why are they not showing up? Let's make it bigger so it'll show up. Boom. And then let's look at the 4-day. Let's see where that aligns with the 4-day. Okay, why don't I see? Oh, there it is. Duh. Yeah. So the final line in the sand for this overall move is right there, 25,711. So 25,711. That's kind of the final. Hold on. I got an alert from our alarm. 1 second. Got to get armed.
Stop field.
Friggin' wildlife. All right. That was fun. Thought we set that up so wildlife didn't set that off. Anyways, let's go to the training den. Yeah, no, so the pattern library will, if you haven't gone through the 4 chart setup, you need to go through that. All right. So let's see where we're at. So that's really the final line in the sand right there for Bitcoin. Sorry, I got a little distracted. Well, okay, if we really wanted to be completely upfront, the final line in the sand would be, for this overall move, would be 23,000. But for you want to see buyers step up there. But the fact that we closed above the RDA, that's a good positive thing. Does that answer the question on Bitcoin? I mean, I would be a buyer. Well, I'm looking to sell if it loses out of my swing, but I'm looking to be a buyer. Oh, I got knocked out of that NQ trade, that one lot. All right. All right. Let's do one more NG trade.
Order filled.
And then we're going to put a fixed stop right here. And then we're going to hold that overnight. If it keeps our trade. Okay. $794. That's our next trade. Unless the buyers really step up. There's that strong level held up. So I would assume if it's tested again, this would be the first test. Well, let's say the first test since all those tests of 743 and 750. So around this level, you don't got to, but this is kind of like the long area. It already reacted here. We're using chart 4. Hey, Tony Simpson, how you doing? Good to see you. So I'll do a PnL check. PnL wise, where we at? PnL 24,433. That's the PnL so far. There we go.
Order filled.
Trading this level, we might regret it here because it is early trade. Got picked up on 2. Let's put a trailing stop in there, not give it much room. Let's get rid of all these entries up here. They're invalid.
Stop field.
Oh, come on.
Order filled.
I put that stop way too close. That's my own fault. It broke that level, so I don't. It's obviously not holding. This is the last chance for it to hold right here. So you want to see it really rip right here for that level to actually hold. But so far, the previous candle on chart 4 created an initial start what would be a level. So how do I like doing live streams? It's a love-hate relationship. So I do enjoy it. But at the same time, I trade differently while I'm live streaming. But I'm starting to get more comfortable with it. And I'm intentionally sticking with it because it's making me a better trader. So if it was making me a worse trader, I would not be sticking with it. So it's making me a better trader. It might seem, I mean, you're meeting me if this is new. Yeah, it does. It seems kind of slow here on TradingView. I'm using. Yeah, I figured I don't know. They launched streaming and um, yeah, you do is live. So it's good to meet someone else that does live. I mean, I'm sure you know. Uh, let's connect if you're willing to connect. I just love to just talk to someone else that's doing live. Um, that's doing live stuff. It's just you feel like part of me feels like I have to perform, and then also I teach, you know, and a lot of I get a lot of feedback. I mean, like I said, I get I have training, so I don't my I still have this. I still remember what it was like to be. I thought about this last night while I was driving with Rex for a little bit. I took a little bit of time off and drove with Rex for a little bit, and this will go into the live stream. I just really thought, like, okay, like, why? Like, what if I just ghosted again? So for those that don't know, I ghosted the whole community for a while. Part of it was my cancer, because cancer came back or just a lot of, there's a video on YouTube about it, about that I have terminal cancer and stuff like that. So, I ghosted and anything else. And I just thought, well, if like I get up every day and I say, should I live stream? And there's something inside me that says, yeah, you should. Um, and one thing that occurred to me, I was like, I remember I'm looking for these stats. So I hired a researcher, from not Odesk, whatever it's called. Maybe it's Odesk. I can't remember what. Um, to give me stats on traders, on successful traders. I want real stats. I want real stats on retail traders. Because the number bandied about is 80%, 90% of retail traders are, and I am a retail trader. I'm not as retail as you can get, meaning that my background is an entrepreneur. I have a couple thousand people in my phone that I've met personally. I mean, not obviously know well, right? But that I've networked with or that I've done business with, because I've been in real estate, I've been in social media, I've been in the internet marketing world. I spent about 6 months in the MLM world before I said, "Oh my God, this makes me sick." So the MLM world, just detested. I hated the MLM world. But I could be a top MLM leader if I wanted to be. I could play the stupid ass games that they play. Anyways, I'll get to specifically what you're asking about streaming. I'm almost 50. So I'm almost 50. Don't know if I sound like it or don't know if I act like it. I don't feel like it. So I don't know. I'm young at heart, so I've always been the type of person to say, well, so for instance, for those that don't know, I just recently started an entertainment company. Uh, I wrote a couple screenplays. I got a couple novels I'm working on. I got an experimental novel. I'm doing a short film. I'm doing a couple short films. Um, uh, yeah. So I, I don't want to, I don't want to not answer your question and get too personal. I'm in a trade here. We're long and I'm up about $3,000. So feel pretty good about that. Uh, we're in just two lots. And then we're up on the NG trade by $200. So that one we want to hold for long term. We'll see if we can hold that for a long term. I'm in another account. We're looking for NG. I'm thinking it might have bottomed. I think NG might have bottomed. There should be enough time to scale in. I've shared this. I opened a folder on my computer a couple years ago, and it had stories, like 50 stories in there. And I have a book in there that's like 200,000 words. Terrible. It's written terribly, but I've been a storyteller. I've had these stories inside me, and then so I started screenplays. I started writing screenplays, and then I started trying to sell one. Almost had one sold, but then they couldn't guarantee that it was going to be made. And my response, and I don't have an agent yet, so I'm looking for an agent and a manager and stuff like that. Actually, I'm not. I started an entertainment company to, anyways, almost had it sold. And I said, the only way that I will sell this is that if you can guarantee it will be made in 2 years. Because I want the possibility that I want to live longer than 2 years, but I want the possibility that I will see this. I didn't write this for it not to be out in the world. There's a purpose why the universe told me to write this story. I didn't write this story just so that you could sit on it for 10 years and not make it. So I want to guarantee that this will be made. I'll even take, I'll take less and do points on the back, whatever we got to do. I don't care, and then I want some creative control. I want this level of creative control of certain things. That didn't fly with anybody. So I was racking my head and I'm like, well, what do I do? And this will get back to like I said, I don't know if anybody cares about these things that I share. That's what part of these streams, like I feel like I'm in. So here's the thing. If I'm streaming normally, and maybe Tony, you would get this. Hopefully I can call you Tony. Like, so one of the things that is interesting is that when I'm normally trading, right, and I'm not streaming, well, I'm doing other things when I'm in a trade like this because I don't need to watch the charts. I have entries in, or I don't use alerts. I use entries as alerts. So I put one lot somewhere, and then if, like, for instance, you'll see here on the chart, if you look at, this isn't a prime example of how I trade. Now, I'm sure some traders will say, that's dumb. Just put alerts, man. What are you doing? Well, this is how I trade. On CL, I have an entry right there, right around 68 spot 97, right? If that entry gets hit, then the chart tells me I should pay attention. So I pay attention to that trade. So it's 230. Let's look and see if we have a trade here. So that's the way I trade. So otherwise, I'm doing other things if I'm not streaming. But too much losing trade. Oh, hold on 1 second. I want to see what. Ooh. No, I don't know about that. Yeah, maybe. Interesting. Still green day, but you have to. Yeah. So I don't know. It hit a momentum check. We're gonna sell here.
Order filled.
We're gonna follow the momentum of the chart. So we're gonna sell. We're in one lot, two lots. PnL now is up to 26 grand. So we got back up to 26 grand. I think it might sell off, and maybe it's going to tap the weekly open before the close. Maybe that's what it wants to do. So we got to be careful for a spike here, though. So be very mindful that it might spike in either direction. It's around that time. You can see that volatility picking up. So not going to chase the trade. There we go. So this might hold up. So I'm literally just going to put trailing stops in here, and then it's going to either take us out on trailing stops or not. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just going to forget about the trade. Not forget. I mean, I'm just going to see if we get picked up and if it sells off or if it doesn't. So it's either going to sell off or not. Thanks for the rocket. I need to hit the rocket too. Yeah, so I'd be interested on what Tony. One of the questions I'd have, I'd ask you is like, when you're not streaming, do you trade differently? Because I do, because I'm doing other things. I'm writing, I'm working on training, I'm working on other things. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, just wasted $1,000 doing a stupid ass trade. Sorry. All right, I think we're out of the market for now. The RDA might be holding up. On chart 3, the RDA might be holding up. That would be an interesting move. If the RDA holds up, that means that tomorrow, thank you for hitting the rocket and everything else. So the RDA might be holding up. That's something to watch. I would think the overnight will probably tap the open if it ranges out here. There might be one more move here left in the day. So we're gonna see if there's clues for that. How we would look for clues for that. I probably didn't need to get out of that trade, but it could have ripped up just as much as it ripped down. So we're in the middle of a range there. Look where we're, like I've said many times before, look at that entry. If we enter here, long or short, where are we at? We're in the middle of a 5-minute range. There's no edge there. It can go either way. I mean, chart 4 and chart 2 say that it's going to short. And then we're at the RDA in chart 3. So do we want to fight an RDA check on chart 3? Oh, I think that's a good thing, Sam. Apple Sam. Good thing. I'll take it that way anyways. That I don't sound like it or feel like it. Yeah, so anyways, that's like I said, anyways, so because I couldn't get the guarantee, I was racking my head, well, what do I do with all this stuff? Right? And I said, well, I think everything coming out of Hollywood, I'm not everything. A majority of things coming out of Hollywood suck. I hate superhero movies. I mean, I don't hate them. I don't know. I'm just not interested in them. Has there been a movie like The Godfather that you can think of? Goodfellas? I mean, I'm mentioning mafia movies, so let's mention. I was going to say Scarface. So that's The Talented Mr. Ripley is my favorite movie, one of my favorite movies. There hasn't been a movie like The Talented Mr. Ripley out in years. You could say sometimes TV is replacing that. Anyways, I said, well, what am I going to do? Like, I've got these stories, and unless I can guarantee that they're going to be told in a way that I think will be entertaining and will bring entertainment back, then I don't care about the money. I care less about the money. I want the stories to be out there. The other thing that those that don't know, I used to own a record label. And I enjoyed working with artists. And so my entertainment company is really set up for me to maybe have the ideas, but for me to work with other creative people. Anyways, that's so I'm sharing this because, like, I don't put self-limitations on myself. I think anything's possible. Now, part of it is because probably I live in America, right? I've also seen a lot of the world, though. I've been to Africa. I've been to a lot of parts of Africa. I've been to Eastern Europe. I've seen the pyramids. I've traveled a lot through Europe. Haven't been to much of or anywhere like Japan, China, or anywhere else over there, or Vietnam. I've traveled pretty much. I've seen all 50 states of the United States. I've traveled all through Canada. I've seen a lot of the world. But I don't put limitations on myself. I think that's the biggest challenge. I think that's the other reason why, if you're a new trader and you're wondering, well, how do I have success, right? Well, the first thing you need to do is, and I say this time and time again, is you need to, oh yeah, look at that move up. So we need to see if we're going to short this or what we're going to do here. That RDA is holding. So this is something where you look back in the day. So if we go here and we look at the 60-minute, I just want to highlight this so people can learn something here. So we're pretty close to the weekly open. I thought the weekly open would be tagged. That's that little white line that you see here. That white line that you see here, that's the weekly open. So I thought that was going to be tagged. It still might be tagged here by the end of the session, but we're running out of time. There's only 23 minutes. So if we go to the 60, the 1 hour time frame. So I'm not talking about the index, right? The index is playing around. The index is playing around with the momentum indicator. I was if it's going to hit this RDA, then it's going to probably take out, or it's going to tag the weekly open like the NQ did yesterday. But the NQ, what it's doing, you'll see that here. It's trying to hold the RDA, that yellow line. So it's trying to hold the RDA. So this is where you're always projecting. You're always projecting, where what you're doing, you're saying, okay, where does this hour bar want to close? And this is where, when you look back in the day and you say, okay, and you can do this, you do this in hindsight. Any trade system that you look at, you say, oh, it's so obvious in hindsight. Well, in real time, it's a lot more messier. Like right now, this is a lot more messier. Is this RDA going to hold? But if the bar closes up here, for instance, if this green bar closes up here, what you would say is that, well, I should have been trading the RDA and an overshoot of the RDA, and then I should have been really focusing on the 4 chart setup and then trading that because it's so obvious. Well, yeah, it's so obvious in hindsight, but the live market is messy as heck. I mean, the live market is it's and so what I would share with new traders, if you're a new trader, interesting. I'll read that comment here. Is that if you're new to trading, is that you need to focus on, number one, realizing that it's you against the market, and that you need to come up with your own philosophy of how you trade the market. You can take in information like trading books. And someone asked me the best trading, or I will share some mental books to help your mental. They're not going to be trading books. The number one mental book that I think, one of the number one mental books, is actually a sports mental book. I think that's one of the best mental books out there. It's a well-known sports mental book. So I think that's one of the best trading mental books that you can read. Just like the other trading book that I think is really good is The Sniper Mindset. It's written by a sniper. And he talks about how the lessons he learned as a sniper, as he transitioned out of the military and got into the business world, he was able to apply the lessons he's learned as a sniper into the business world. And then in the book, he talks about how to do that. And I think it applies very well to trading. Actually, it applies extremely well to trading. Observation. You're observing charts. A sniper just doesn't start shooting. A sniper, one shot, one kill. You have that whole thing, right? But, a sniper picks their shots. A sniper is if you've ever talked to a sniper, for instance, they're students of human behavior. That's the other thing about them. Snipers can tell a military trained person by the way they walk. They can tell the psychology of a person by their gait. They can, by how they swing their arms. They kind of have that because they're observing. That's their job. Actually, is first observing. That's their first role, is to observe. So I still think there's some great trading books, but what I would suggest, and this is what I had to learn, at least the path I had to go through, and we're about the end of the day, so let's see where we're at on the day. 25,024, not a bad PnL for the day. And I'll answer that comment, but I think we're going to see a trade that I'm going to want to execute here at the end of the day. We didn't get picked up on the CL trade, so I should have probably traded this 5-minute level, but It's late in the session. Too late for it to trade it. So what I would suggest is that when you read a trading book, is that if you read something and you think it has, number one, you need to verify it for yourself. And then you need to then say, okay, does this provide me an edge, or does this confuse me? Meaning, do I actually need to use, so for instance, the MACD. Let's say that you read, someone says the MACD is the best indicator in the world. Here's how to use the MACD. Okay, well, if you're going to adopt that in your system, you need to, number one, learn, what I would suggest is learn how people suggest how you use it, and then do the exact opposite of what they suggest. And then when you do the exact opposite, then decide, okay, do I have an edge if I use this tool in my system? If I adopt the MACD and I use it in my system, what is my philosophy of using this tool that provides me with an edge when I'm trading? All right, so let's see. I will come up. This just came across you 15 minutes ago. Don't exactly know what I'm looking. I'm reading a comment on TradingView. Looking at, but sorry to hear about your illness. Oh, it's it's life. Had a cousin with the big C and came across a product called Spooky 2 Generator, kind of a frequency device that attacks the C. Yeah, someone shared with me something that that's because the body's made up with a lot of water. One of the mistakes I made early on, so those don't know, I've had major cancer surgery and then it came back. Is that I kind of went down the path of this kind of the cures, and it worked for a while. I was actually doing better, and then it just came back fierce. It just got mad. It's like, okay, you think you know what you're doing, and it came back bad. And then I ended up in the ER. I had to take a pretty long trip in a ambulance and had major surgery. I've had a couple major surgeries. Anyways, it's been an interesting path. So I'm looking at the charts. I don't see anything I want to trade, but I think if you were going to trade the overnight session, there's some good opportunity in the overnight session based on if it closes here. If it closes in this, if the 60-minute closes above 880 above the high, which it looks like it's trying to do, that will provide some good trading in the overnight session, most likely. There is news tomorrow. If we do look at the news on tomorrow, there is news tomorrow. We do have news in the morning. We do have, I don't know who James Bullard is. I probably should know who that dude is. PMI comes out tomorrow, and then the durable goods orders comes out at 8:30 Eastern, 9:45 Eastern PMI. So it should be a good trading morning. Should be a good opportunity to trade tomorrow. PnL today is 25.042. Not too bad. Any other questions before we call the stream for today? Should have been long there. Look at that. So those in Discord, I'm going to share the level. Look at that. I'll share this in the general. See that level there? That double level test? That pattern. Did not trust it. Should have trusted it. I was talking about it in the midst of it too. Don't know why I didn't trust that level. Yeah, should have trusted that level. Yeah. I mean, see that? The bottom level is what I'm talking about. Why is there two lines there? Just because there's a previous level that it was testing, and then it created a new level, and then it double tested the level. That's like, that is like a textbook test of that level. I mean, it's not quite textbook because obviously it overshoot. That's a textbook overshoot of that level. And on the 5-minute too, you've seen the same pattern. The 5 minutes a little bit harder. So if we look at the 5 minute, that's a little bit harder. but that's kind of a standard fake out move, right? Just a tick below these lows. Just a tick below these lows. Oh, BTC recaptured the weekly. Okay, let's look at BTC before we head out for the day. Boom. Oh, look at that. Where are we at? Let's look at the hour. Yep. 60 minutes working on, yeah. So it's working on recapturing the hour. The RDA held. See that RDA check there in the 60-minute, as well as momentum. So what you're going to watch on this on Bitcoin members, obviously. I mean, that's just a reminder. Just reminding the fundamentals. That's the other thing that I'll share for members that are on the stream still. I realize one of my roles on the streams is to just reinforce the fundamentals consistently. I've been reading a couple books about how to be a better educator, how to be a better trainer. And one of the things that it constantly says is that you need to reinforce the foundation, reinforce the basics, and you need to do it from multiple angles, because people don't hear you the first time, people don't hear you the second time, people don't hear you the third time, people don't hear you the fourth time, people don't hear you the fifth time, maybe they'll hear you the sixth time. And people don't hear you from this angle, they might hear you from that angle. So yeah. So it looks like that might, so obviously if that 60-minute closes, there might be an opportunity here to then take a little, as Bloomberg would say, do a risk on trade. So the 5-minute has switched over to in momentum. So see that? The 5-minute didn't really lose it. So as long as the 5-minute on the Bitcoin here can hold this structure here, as long as I can hold this structure here, not this structure, but down to here, and then as long as it can hold, obviously, the weekly open, and then if these indicators start coming above the weekly open and it starts respecting those indicators like it did here, what do I mean by respecting those indicators? I mean by something like this. So where it's like doing this, respecting the indicators. And then obviously it overshoots. You can do overshoots. I mean, overshoots are okay. And then eventually, not eventually, but usually what happens, it does an overshoot, then it recaptures, and then it confirms, and then it rips up. So as long as it does that, as long as it continues to do that, I'd assume it's probably going to reject right around here at first. Where's that at? Yeah, it's probably going to reject right around 28,000. So that's something to keep in mind. It is hitting an extreme band of a VWAP as well. So this is a deviation of the VWAP. So I would expect a reaction here, but it looks like the buyers are showing up. It looks like, based on the way that day is ending, that there might be false breaks tomorrow, but people are deploying capital to the market. That's what it looks like. Look at the internals, and we'll call it a day. The best thing you can do is join Discord. You see a link down below. I know we lost a lot of people. Obviously, they're moving on with their day. The trading day is over. That's what I realize, is that, I have to, it is repetition. And I've seen that actually firsthand now, since I've kind of adopted that attitude more, which is, a lot of people have said, I finally got what you were saying about this. I've been saying that for like 2 years. Yeah, no, but I finally got it. Like, okay. I can only laugh because, I get it. I mean, I'm the same way though, right? So it's like, not like I'm unique. I'm the same way with things I'm trying to learn, things I'm trying to do. Like, for instance, I'm trying to be we got knocked out of the NQ trade. Okay. All right. So I don't have anything on the agenda other than just chilling tomorrow and trading. So I will be most likely streaming in the morning. Look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow. If you haven't joined Discord, you want to join Discord. If you do want to trade the best trading system on the planet, the Rex Dog trading system, inspired by my dog Rex, you can visit the website below, or send me an email. On the website, you'll see a link that says Get Started Now. You can send that. I like to talk to everybody before they get started, just to make sure it's a fit, especially new traders. I just want to make sure that you have your expectations on, as far as like a new trader. But if you have a little bit of experience, I just kind of want to know background a little bit. And then, you can start learning the best trade system on the planet, the one that you see me trade every single day. All right. Well, everybody, look at that. We are seeing a little rejection on big tech. It did retest the actual VWAP and it's starting to sell off there. But I think we're going to get a decent close here on this close. As far as this day, I mean, it was a pretty interesting day. I mean, there's a lot of great trading on today. I didn't get to trade much of the lunch session where it actually did sell off. That was a pretty good sell off. But if we look here, the index, I mean, the index, the damage, there's no real damage if it closes here. It might feel like a roller coaster ride of a day. But as far as the structure of the 60-minute chart on the index, there's no real damage if it closes here, especially if it closes above the fast momentum indicator here at 7751, 12751. Momentum's long, bias is long, it's above the weekly open. As it sits right now, if this continues through tomorrow and the overnight doesn't really break down and look like it's going to be a gap down day, the 60 minutes not showing much damage as far as to go out and take out the next level upwards. The next level upwards is 13,661. That's the next level upwards. And that's the August 2022 level. So that's what I've been targeting for this if it does want to continue to be long. So, all right, everybody, look forward to seeing you in Discord. You'll see a link down below and on YouTube and TradingView. And then Joey, if you're still here, or Tony, if you're still here, yeah, definitely I'll send you a message too. I'd love to just hear kind of your experience as well. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in the next stream. Everybody have a great rest of their day or their morning, their evening, wherever they happen to be in the world. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.